let's call Jeremy. No, we're calling Wetherby. Tell me which photo that was again.
That was this one.
That's that one. Okay, so I got everything. Let's get back on live. Make sure we're connected, which we are. Don't seem to be yet. Connecting. Let's say on air. There we go. We're streaming. Let's call him back and let's re-record this thing. Let's record over it. Okay, let's do it. Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right. Press record. Call back Matthew Wetherby. Calling Matthew.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Wetherby. How are you? This is Paul, Outsider Tackle Box Radio Show. Good. How are you doing this morning?
I'm well, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing good. Hey, thanks for coming on the show. I understand you're finishing up a softball game. Tell us how it went. What were the results? 4 for 4?
Unfortunately, we did not pull off the victory in the first game, but we're still alive in the tournament, so not all bad news.
That's always a plus.
That's my co-host, Tommy. I didn't give him a proper introduction. I just kind of went right into it.
Yeah, he tends not to do that. He forgets that I'm even here.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was going to be here, Matthew. I was going to do this thing by myself. As I mentioned, Tommy usually shows up late for the show. So,
the fact of the matter is I'm here. So you run
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
But he did make it. So hey, listen. The idea of the show is just to share your fish story. It's that simple. We like the picture you sent in. It looks like you have 2 good bass catches there. You got one with a scale on it, and then the other one facing the other way. Both good sizes. So just go ahead and share your story. Maybe the place that you caught the fish, what bait you were using. If it's a secret spot, you don't have to tell anybody or just make up the place. That's what I do, right?
You make up the story altogether.
I make it up as I go. I really do. That's how we ended up here.
Yeah, no. So I fished a bit when I was a kid with my grandfather, and it kind of fell away out of my life through starting a career and not really having a lot of free time. I finally kind of got some better hours and was able to kind of re-explore, really enjoy my enjoyment of fishing again this year. And I had a couple of friends that go out pretty regularly. So I kind of decided that this year I was going to jump headfirst right back into it and fish a lot and as often as I could. I live in Vermont, so we have some really great species to fish, and Lake Champlain is basically the entire west part of the state, so there's always a place to fish.
That is a huge lake.
Yeah, exactly. And I like fishing bridges a lot, and I got really lucky. I found a bridge that was semi-local to me, and fish seemed to love the spot. Through my first couple of months, I was just absolutely, as soon as bass season started for us here, I was catching bass left and right. It dried up. We haven't had a lot of rain this year, so fishing kind of slowed down a little bit, picking back up again. But I was really fortunate at the beginning of the year to pull in a lot of really good fish. I was catching fish every single day for a while, and that doesn't always happen. There was not a goose egg on my record for about 2 months at the beginning of the year, so that was nice.
Start keeping track of those little holes where you were finding a lot of fish at.
And I did, yeah. I found a couple of really cool apps. I won't really plug anybody because I don't know how efficient they are per se.
Yeah.
But I found a couple of cool apps that are, that help me kind of keep track of where I was going and, kind of distances of, and how the water levels were and stuff like that. And Google Maps actually does a really good job of keeping up with where you can kind of see where there's like a lot of algae and where the water levels have changed a lot. They actually do a very good job of keeping up pretty well with it.
Mm-hmm.
You have our permission to plug us whenever and wherever you can.
Absolutely. But it's a love of mine that I kind of, like I said, let slip away in my life just due to time and career and family starting and whatever. And I made a little bit of a selfish move this year and kind of decided to do it. But both of those fish that you guys have up on the site are from the same spot, from this local bridge that I enjoyed fishing at a lot this year. One of them wasn't my personal best this year, but I think it was 4.3 pounds. Really good fish. That's the one on the scale, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I have
really
a question
great fish.
about that one. When you weigh the fish like that, does it make it heavier?
I don't believe it does. I mean, it's an honest pull from a zeroed out scale.
You do realize that he's asking for his own benefit so he can alter his weights later.
Well, I'm looking for a fish. I like to give fish story stuff.
I guess why do you ask if it would reflect the weight in a different way?
I think he's just asking so this way later on when he weighs his fish, he's trying to get a little bit heavier weights on his, so this way he can actually
so do you just
beat
mean
me.
Like how and where I hook the fish to weigh it?
Does it allow you to I'm looking at the picture. If I put the scale right there, I could add weights in the fish's mouth. Because if you open the mouth, they'll fall out.
You're ridiculous.
Sure.
Tommy and I have
with the scale that I have, the only two places that are efficient for me to do it, which I've since learned that upper scale area could actually kind of hurt a fish.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I've been kind of instructed. So I've since changed my methodology behind trying to weigh them.
Mm-hmm.
But the hook on that scale just happens to be where I can't hook it many places but the gill. So I did start with the lower part near the jaw versus the higher part. But I don't think personally. I mean, I don't go for dishonest impressions. But I don't think it would affect.
We're only for the fish story. You're not going to hear us do anything else like give you where and when or how to.
Yeah, we usually just joke around amongst each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's all good. Just I don't know the difference, and like I said, just information from other locals and stuff of better ways to weigh the fish and stuff just to keep it safer.
Yeah.
I just did it where I knew that the hook would stay in and I could weigh the fish honestly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fair enough. I was just trying to get a weight on it and kind of. I was proud of myself. It's nice to get back into it and be able to be a little successful with it and, be able to bring some food home to the folks. And
there you go.
Just all good.
There you go. That's what it's about. It's about having fun and just enjoying yourself. Like I said, Paul's the only person I know that has, ended up landing a 22-pound bass. And I was like, really? Yeah, 22 pounds? And, it just ends up being, he's, padding numbers and making up stories.
I did pad the numbers, and that's why I was curious if you did the same thing.
No.
I
mean, I've never tried to do that. In my opinion, those are pretty good fish. I would love to be able to pull up some bigger numbers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But just, those were quick picks basically for the friends that kind of encouraged me to go out and, really got me going into, fishing again this year.
No, this is awesome.
And then
we totally
the other photo that
these.
you have with the rod in it, that's my first bait caster. So I bought a bait caster this year, and that was the first fish that I caught on a bait caster. So I was actually really psyched about that because it was a damn good fish to catch on a new rod, and while I was learning, and I ended up pulling that one in. So that's the story behind the opposite picture as well with the rod in it. That's my first bait caster catch.
Nice, always fun to catch on a new reel and rod.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, and to have a good fish that size too, it was a nice fish to catch for a first fish.
Especially when you're trying to learn the how to use the rod and reel the way, and then you end up picking up something that big and you're just like, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep, exactly. No, it was a definitely feel good moment.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Well, keep sending us pictures. So we'll put them up on the site when we can. If you want to come back on the podcast and radio show, we stream it live at 7:30. We actually might even have some people. If you're just tuning in, we're on the phone with Matthew Wetherby. We're going over his fish photo that he sent in. 2 nice catches. Thanks for being on the show. We'll have this recording for you to listen and share later on today. From all of us here at Outsider Tackle Box, fish more.
Keep fishing.
Thank you very much. And I look forward to if you guys want to give me a buzz back, I'm going to try ice fishing for the first time this year. So
I would love to hear about that.
Yeah, that would be our first story.
Yeah, because
I'm going to learn that experience this year for the first time. So I think that'll be cool, and I'd love to tell you about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Love to hear about it.
I've never done.
Yeah, well, I'm surprised because you like to tell stories. So
well, I'm going to say that I've done it before. I'm even going to sound like I know what I'm doing.
Oh Lord.
All right, Matthew. I know you have a game to go to, but we loved having you on. It's a good show. We'll post it up again for you to share.
All right, man. Good luck in that tournament.
Sure. All right, thanks, guys.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.